there, it's Adrian over at the Sampleist, and today we are checking out Modus Forma Ambient Electric from Audiofier. Ambient Electric is a playable ambient cinematic guitar library for Contact. The library contains a staggering 12 different guitar models with up to 5 pickup configurations. Each model offers 14 articulations for maximum expressivity. Not only do you have the guitar models in this library, but also 14 amps and 4 crunch amps with a direct injection model, DI for short. Included in the articulations are sustain, hammer-ons, pull-offs, slide up and down, slanted picking, the list just goes on. Needless to say, you have as much detail as you want from this library. Modus Forma needs 3.8GB of disk space. You will need the full version of Contact 5.8.1 or higher and at least 4GB of RAM. This library is not compatible with a free Contact player. The library is priced at $85, although at the time of recording it is on an introductory pricing of $65. So let's hear what this library sounds like as we take a little tour through some of the patches. So that's a quick tour through some of the patches for Modus and Forma. Now we'll just take a quick look at the interface. This is not going to be a tutorial of how to use the interface because this instrument is very deep. It's just a whistle-stop tour of some of the features. So when you first load Modus and Forma, you get this wonderful picture of a guitar. Now to access the other guitar styles, just click on the little guitar symbol here. And then we have these wonderful depictions of guitar bodies. So we can have different styles here, hollow tellies, strata, and it gives you a little description of what it actually is here. You got a white dove, Steinbach, leopard, 553, and just give you a little taste of what these sound like. And you can actually get a sort of like different sound to this by changing where the pickup actually is by just taking this slide and moving it across. So you can have it on the bridge, neck, and bridge, and just the neck. You can also pick what your articulations are, so what your notes will, G note will provide some trills, F sharp Z will provide some rakes, and these are all mapped to the keys down here. So if you want to know what you've actually got mapped as, if you just hover your mouse over it like that, says this is on hand position at fret 0, anything that's blue is playable keys, anything above that plays open a string in the yellow, and down here we get force open strings as you play, so it gives you whole veritable ways of getting your articulations in there. We then have some lovely amps. We have clean amps, alters the sound subtly, and then we have 4 crunch amps here. And then you can have, these with the amps on, you can turn them off by just doing a full direct injection. So it bypasses all the amps if that's what you're after. Then your controls down here are what we would find on a guitar amp, well, most guitar amps. So I won't bother going through these. You get a description here of what each amp is. So there's a classic country style, the original tube brown face, industry reference clean amp from Japan. So you've got a wonderful selection of amps to even sort of create your own ambient guitar very quickly. Then we go to the wonderful fret view. That tells you exactly where you're playing on the guitar. Now if I use one of these down here, key switches, now playing on fret 2, fret 7, and the 11th fret. So it gives you different tones, so you can vary it as you play along here. And then we can also snap to scale as well. So if you want to, even a particular scale, you can set it here, and you've got all these wonderful scales to choose from. So no matter what note you press, you'll always be in key. So that's always a handy thing to do. And then we have this wonderful arpeggiator, which is just your standard arpeggiator here. Nothing fantastically complex. And then you can do your upwards, as play, zigzag up and down. And then you got the hold, so I can take my hand off the keyboard. And you can control how many steps you have. So you can have 16 all the way up to, just let's see how far it goes. I think it goes to 32, looks like it will do. Yeah, 32 steps. So you can have 32 step sequence going in there for arpeggiation. We then have what I think is absolute, the star of the whole shebang of a sample library. And this is the rhythm section. So with Alti, you get this normal playing style. If I switch it on, we then get, if it's noticed, then you get a whole new set of key switches. I would take it off, I put it on and get a whole new set of key switches up here. Now this will play different strum patterns. There your open strings. So you get, so each, I've chosen this particular guitar sound, but each guitar sound you get a different sort of ability to do things. So if I just put it onto, let's just go for full mids and just go into this. And now if I turn it on now, I get something slightly different. Play chords. And I'll identify that chord for me on the current chord set. And I've got different strumming styles. So on top of that, you can then go into live detection, and this is where it gets complex, and this is why I said this is not a tutorial whatsoever, but you can actually go in here and set these key switches here to particular chords. So if I play the C sharp 3 and get a D flat minor, and if I do an D sharp, C sharp 3, sorry, you get a D flat minor. I thought that didn't sound like a D flat minor. So you can edit your chords here and also set which fret it's actually going to be played on. So you can do all sorts of wonderful sort of sound designing for your ambient set. You can edit your strums and your arpeggios in here even further. So you can actually say, right, on that first one, I want to strum down, I want to strum up. So if you want to strum down, you just, on this particular step, all you need to do is just click at the top. If you want to strum up, just click at the bottom of it. Very, very simple. Then we move on to these wonderful sort of like step sequences for the guitar volume, cutoff, resonance, convolution drive. You can go absolutely mad here, and all you need to do if you want to switch this section on is just flick that switch, and each one is separate, so you don't have to have them all on at the same time, and the ones that are actually on are highlighted as well, so that is always a good thing, so you actually know where you are. Then we have the wonderful effects section. You can have a compressor, modulation, master reverb, master delay, nothing out of the ordinary here. Some convolutions as well. So if I just put repetitions on, say for instance, sort of has a more reverberant, just like a convolution reverb there. You then have another section of effects, and this is where you can really go mad and warp your sound, because you can turn this guitar sound into a pad by just changing very quickly. You end up with a pad sound, and you can tweak it to your heart's content. You can add some granular effects, so let's go for a foggy faint. Just smears the sound a little bit more, and you get wonderful guitar echoes. Just turn the wet up. And you set your pitches for these echoes here, and each number represents a semitone. So very sort of quick and easy to set up some wonderful guitar echoes here. And then we have a fantastic randomization page. Now, you probably noticed as we went through, we have these little dice. These dice randomizes this particular section, and you can do a randomize all, so you can actually create guitar patches very quickly. And what this particular page does is it allows you to select whether a particular parameter will be affected by the randomize all, because at this moment in time, step volume, cutoff, resonance, all that will not be affected by the dice. Now, if I want to put some shimmer on and I want to create a pad, I just click randomize all now. And quite quickly I've got a pad. Now if I want to go a bit more, I'll just say, right, I want some granular echoes, I'll just randomize that. So straight away you've got a very good interface on sort of creating sounds very quickly that are random. It's like if I hit this again, I'll get something completely different next time. So you could keep on doing this and save your own wonderful snapshots, which is fantastic. And then we've got the ubiquitous mixing, so you can actually change how much of each particular effect you hear. So if I don't want to hear anything of the guitar, I just want to hear more of the pad instead. So very nice to be able to do that. And then if I just want to put a little bit of subtle guitar, so that's what you get on the interface for Modus and Forma. Very clear, very easy to get your head round. The instruction manual that comes with it is really well written, which is a change because a lot of the time you get some instructions that aren't very clear, but this one is very clear, very easy to follow, and especially on how to use this page, which for me is sort of like the heart of the whole instrument. Allows you to do lots of rhythm and ambience, textures and stuff. So let's hear what this sounds like in a musical composition. let's have a look at exactly what's going on here. We'll start with the ambience side of things. So if I just solo out the introduction, and all I've done here is used high shimmer on experimental ambience. And all I've done is really just pan them slightly to the left and right to give a wider soundscape. And then on the beginning, we have some pads. Just move that there. And these pads are the pad and another pad. Again, I've panned these slightly as well. So that just sort of sets the foundations. And if we just take the melody, let's move that, keep that there now, and we go to the full mids. This is the more melody side of it. If we bring the pads in with this, and then to add some subtle movement to the whole sound, we bring in these wonderful rhythm guitars. First of all, got nice chorus reverb. And then we'll bring in the second guitar. And then we add them all together. This is what you could actually do as a very simple track in the Modus Forma Ambient Electric. That was Modus Forma Ambient Electric, a stunningly captured guitar library with massive depth. The amount of choices on offer helps you create that quintessential ambient guitar sound. The level of detail makes this library one of the most convincing sound guitar libraries I have ever heard. It sounds absolutely gorgeous no matter what you throw at it. You're not limited to the patches that Audiofier has created, they are just merely starting points. If you're looking for a playable guitar library with a slant to the ambient side, then yeah, add this to your list. You really won't regret it. I would like to thank Audiofier for sending Modus Forma Ambient Electric for a review. It is really appreciated. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel and visit thesampleist.com and see what we're all about.